Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
Caitlin Clark has put cash money in the pockets of every single WNBA player who played in 2025. Let's talk about this because I think it's important to also go back in time and show that these players have been lying and lying repeatedly. And I said this all the way back in 2024. Welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate all your support. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Shout out to the 19. Y'all know who you are. Even the Canadians who are part of the 19. But let's dig into this. As you can see right here, hold on one second and I'll actually get it for you. I think I'm sharing the screen. Hold on. Okay, here we go. New technology, I'm learning. So as you can see here, WNBA generated enough revenue in 2025 to promote revenue sharing with its players for the first time in history. All 13 WNBA teams will receive a total of $8 million to disperse among players. By the way, I do believe, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, if I get further information, I will bring it to you. But from everything I've seen, this is $8 million across the 13 teams, not $8 million per team. Obviously, a big difference. But the point being, if you all remember, and again, we talked about this in 2024, different computer at the time. I don't still have it, although it's in one of the videos. I just have no idea which one in order to find it. But I played a clip, and it wasn't just her. Other players have talked about this as well. It's the same lying that went on with the U.S. women's national team for soccer when they were talking about equal pay, even though, well, anyway, we won't get into that right now. But do y'all remember there was an interview where Kelsey Plum talked about revenue share and how, and she made the comment, I won't get into all the details again, but like one of the comments she made was that, oh, people think we're asking for what the NBA players get 50-50 and all that, and that's not what we're asking for and all of this. But what she failed to mention that I brought up at the time is that WNBA players already had revenue share in the CBA. Yes, let me repeat that. WNBA already had revenue share in the CBA. Here's an example of that because this is that CBA. So if they didn't have it, as the players have made everyone believe, how exactly is it that they are getting money right now? Again, thank you, Caitlin Clark. But I'll let you know, because as should be done with a league struggling, a league losing money, a league trying hard to grow, they set in levels that would trigger, not in the way people use the word nowadays that are too sensitive, but that would trigger revenue share. Okay, revenue would have to be X number of dollars before the players got X percentage of that revenue. I don't have the breakdown. The point being, the only reason players never saw any money from revenue share wasn't because it didn't exist, as they tried to make you believe. It was because they hadn't made enough revenue for the league in order to trigger the first level and get revenue share. It's like this as a salesperson, okay? Let me break it down that way. You're a salesperson. It doesn't matter what you're selling, office supplies, you're selling cars, whatever it is. You might have tiered commissions, right? Where you get X percent if you sell X dollar amount, and you get Y percent, you get a bump in commission if you sell Y, right? So maybe if you sell 100,000 in revenue on sales, you make 5% commission. If you sell 250,000, you're making 10% on everything above 100,000 or everything above 250, whatever it may be. That is the similar type of thing that you are getting here with the WNBA, and it makes perfect sense. It is an incentive. And if the players had truly cared, if they had truly understood it, and they didn't want to just get things because there are women who play basketball, they might have thought, you know what? We need to do within what we can do, within what is in our control, we need to do better at growing the game. We need to be, here's a word for you, WNBA players, more inclusive, more tolerant of those with a different opinion. We need to embrace fans from all walks of life who love the game of basketball and want to support us. Fans who might have different political opinions, might come from different places, might lead different lifestyles. We need to embrace all of them because the one thing we have in common is they love of basketball. And by doing so, by embracing everyone who wants to support us, we can grow the game with the most important potential fan, the casual viewer. That is where the money's made. It is all the more casual viewers that tune in. And when you constantly act like a victim, when you constantly act entitled, when you constantly attack these new fans that want to support you, you make it very difficult for the league to grow enough to trigger revenue share. Does that make any sense at all? Do you understand what I'm talking about? Do you feel what I am putting out there? Okay? This is the type of thing that could have happened sooner if you just changed what's going on in your head. Like the video I just did not that long ago with Angel Reese. She gets asked about being back at Unrivaled, and the first thing she has to do is passively aggressively attack all the fans that made this very thing possible. How disgusting is that? But also, not just how disgusting, how stupid is that? You ever hear the expression shooting yourself in the foot? That is what they are doing. You need those fans, Angel Reese. Those fans are what did this for you. Those fans are what made this revenue share for the first time in league history possible. Again, we'll go back to something we talked about in other videos and previously. 2024, and I forget the exact number, but let me know in the comments. I'm going to give you a range. It was between, I think, 23 and 27, something like that, games in the WNBA in 2024 that had 1 million or more viewers for television. The last time a game had 1 million viewers for the WNBA was all the way back in 2008. Went from 2008 to 2024. But oh, by the way, 2008, it had one game. And it was the very first game. I don't know if it was technically the first game of the WNBA season, but it was a team's first game because it was Candace Parker's debut in the WNBA. And people were so in awe of it that the league never saw another million viewer game until 2024 when Caitlin Clark came in. And I think she had, I'm going to say 26. That number's popping in my head. And I think she had 23 or maybe 24 of the 26. The All-Star game had 3.44 million viewers, which I think you have to go back to like one of the first years of the league to find a game that had more viewers than that. It's absolutely insane what Caitlin Clark has brought to the WNBA. And I want to finish off. I want to share something with you. This comes from the New York Liberty owner.
Caitlin Clark definitely had an effect on the WNBA. All the metrics went up. So this was last season, right, when she first came into the league from college. And we've seen all of our metrics from viewership, ticket sales, sponsorship, everything went up almost 4x. 4x. Right.
I mean, that's incredible.
That's incredible. So the economic impact that she's made to the league is extraordinary.
Undeniable.
4x, 4 times. One player came into the league and everything, viewership, ticket sales, sponsorship, everything went up 4 times. But no one in the WNBA, I shouldn't say that because here we go. Very, very, very few people are willing to acknowledge why that happened. And that is one of the biggest things holding back the WNBA, because the fans who made this happen, fans of Caitlin Clark, and they're getting tired and they're getting exhausted from being battered, from being lied about, from being ignored. Just say, thank you, Caitlin Clark. Just say, thank you, fans, for showing up and supporting us. That is all you have to do. Be a little bit likable and go out and put a good product on the court. And maybe you'll continue to get those fans to show up. And maybe those fans will talk to other people who will check it out and they'll become fans. And then it'll spread throughout the league and you'll actually be able to justify a CBA in your favor that isn't based just on the very, very shaky foundation of Caitlin Clark and Caitlin Clark alone. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Appreciate you checking out the video. As always, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Go have the day you deserve. I will talk to you later.